Today I'm joined by Jon Crosby. Jon's the managing director of Trail Group. And Trail Group offer a wide range of services to building owners, occupiers, social landlords, and property managers with a focus on building safety and compliance. So welcome, Jon.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Jon. Thanks for joining us. Jon, look, for anyone who doesn't know Trail Group, how would you describe what you do and who you do it for?
Okay, yeah, I would describe Trail Group as a multifaceted specialist contractor. We work across the built environment, offering a range of services to our clients, maintaining their building assets, achieving compliance, and optimize the efficiency of their buildings to support their own growth. Our services range, as you've mentioned already, Simon, they range from fire protection, electrical services, building upgrades, refurbishments, and new build extensions. Planned maintenance and security solutions also have been a further provider from us.
Okay, look, thanks for explaining that, Jon. Appreciate that. And look, you're the in the introduction, I mentioned that you're the managing director of Trail
Yeah,
Group. So I think you've been the managing director for about 2 years. Is that right?
that's right. Yep, that's right. So I've my background personally, I've come from a tier one background. I've worked with multitude of contractors, including the likes of Wimpy Engineering and Construction, Tarmac, Carillion. So all from a sort of tier one background. And I joined Trail Group about 2 years ago. And I'll be honest, I've never looked back. The business is owned by our CEO, which is Warren Wright. He's an entrepreneur in himself. He's a great asset to this business. He's very much fully focused around our clients, as we all are within the business. You know, our primary sort of objectives of this business is to make our clients happy with the services that we provide them with. They're at the core of our business for everything we do, together with our people, and our growth, our planned growth for the next sort of 2 to 5 year plan.
Okay, great. No, okay. So what inspired you to lead Trail Group? You mentioned that you'd worked for tier one companies before. What inspired you to lead Trail Group?
I'll be honest, I joined Trail as a commercial I come from a commercial background, so I'm very much always been on the money, as they say.
Yeah.
I came into Trail and I just saw so much opportunity within the business to not just grow the business, but to grow myself as well. I'd had a bit of background with working in the operational environment, so that quite excited me. And then so joining Trail was a great opportunity for me to lead from the front, working with the team. As I say earlier, I've never looked back really. I wanted to always have a commercial presence, but also I wanted to get involved with the operational side, the health and safety side of the business as well. So it's for me, it was a great opportunity to lead from the front, and we've working alongside Warren. It's been fantastic.
Okay, and so how has the Trail Group evolved since you first got involved?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's a magnitude of reasons, really. We've gone from when I joined the business, we were sort of turning over around £7 million,
Yeah,
but we've diversified our services. So we've gone from offering predominantly a fire safety sort of core part of the business. We've expanded now into electrical services, and we're also now offering services around fire alarms, security systems, refurbishment, new build, planned maintenance. So we've kind of broadened our range of products
yeah,
to sustain the growth as well. We've achieved some of this through business acquisition, so it's not just been an internal growth pattern. We bought a fire alarm business just as I joined, actually,
right,
and that fire alarm business now has grown into being part of Trail's continued growth. We've also put teams in place, so we've brought new people into the business, people with backgrounds in some of the fields that we're now working in.
yeah.
Sorry, has my lights just gone out there?
Yeah, no, they have. Yeah, yeah. Do you
Sorry
wanna?
about that.
That's all right. It's all good.
So we've brought in new people into the business who have also got a broad range of experience and knowledge. So that's also helped with our growth of the business. And now we're hoping to be somewhere in the region of around a £20 million business.
Right.
And the planned growth then is for the next 2 to 3 years to reach around 30 million.
Brilliant. Okay. It sounds really exciting. I can understand why you wanted to, yeah, be involved in Trail Group. So, so what's one leadership lesson that you've learned the hard way, John?
Uh, do you know one of the biggest lessons I've learned really is around people. People are very much the core of every business, and the importance of getting the right people into the business. And I think one of the hardest things that I've learned is the importance of bringing the right people in. They say it's an old adage of mine really to bringing the right people in is a massive issue. And hiring and firing fast, as they say. Hiring the right people, but firing fast. It sounds ruthless, but it's core, it's key to every business. And hire slow, exit fast is the motto really. And making sure we've got those people into the business and empowering those people to make decisions. We allow people to have a degree of ownership of their own work, so that they're the people that are dealing with our clients face to face or every day. They're the people that are making key decisions for this business. So for me, it's getting the right people around you in the business, to support the growth.
Yeah. Oh, great. I love that. Okay, that's a great lesson. And what do you, out of interest, what do you look for in what you say a great person?
For me, as a great person is someone who's going to take ownership and be excited about being on the journey with the business, being excited about being in the environment that they're working within. Um, bringing sometimes laughter to the environment as well can really help and settle people down. But people where clients can see them as the go-to for the business, making their name known to our clients, know that they're the person to go to if there's an issue. And as I said to you earlier, for us, our clients are key to the business. They
Mhm.
really are key to the business, and we our CEO Warren, for example, he would rather put our clients above everything, and that includes, profit to some extent. Clients really are the core to the business.
Great. Okay. And what would you say the toughest challenge you've faced as an MD has been, and how did you overcome it?
Um, I think one of the toughest challenges I've faced as the MD is sustaining the growth,
Yeah.
maintaining morale within the business, and not. It's important to not underestimate the importance of bringing, all those things together. With a multifaceted business like we are, I find it very difficult sometimes, personally, to keep everybody motivated. If someone's, wanted a bit more security guidance around their future in the business and seeing other people progressing faster and better because they've bought something new, it's difficult to keep everybody enthused about a business that makes many changes. And we've gone through a lot of change to be where we are today. So change can be a very challenging thing as an MD, bringing that into a business. We've rolled out process in the business. Process for everyone doesn't always suit. So, we want things to be quite methodical. We want people to, we want everybody to be doing the same. It sounds a little bit of a boring cliche, but we do want consistency in the business. And some people sometimes don't warm to that and don't like change. And that's been one of the toughest challenges for us.
Yeah, it's often a difficult thing, isn't it? Well, as they say, to get everybody on the bus and going in the right direction, and
Yeah.
and on the in the right seats on the right bus, sort of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that can often be a challenge. And some of the some of the businesses I've worked with before, that's something that they've really had to focus on, because once you achieve it, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it is, and
absolutely
that and
great.
that's
You've got,
that's very rewarding and
yeah,
very satisfying. I mean, I look at this business. I mean, the business was established 20 years ago. Warren Wright has been involved from the beginning. He's a great CEO. He's taken the business to the level he took it. He's very passionate. As I said, he always keeps the customers central to the sort of goals of the business. Um, I always think sometimes it's been quite challenging. And you asked me the question, what have I found challenging as an MD? the name Trail Group doesn't really kind of sell the services that we do. So in hindsight, maybe the name Trail Group was something we thought, is this really going to work for us on this journey of growth?
Yeah.
We saw, you know, we called ourselves the group. We had to create a brand for that to really work. And in hindsight, it's now transpired that the name has been a really good asset to us because whilst we could have called ourselves, the Fire Protection Specialist Limited or something like that, it would have been a very obvious. We've created a brand around Trail Group,
Yeah.
and with the various different business units within that now, we've created that brand. We've got the different businesses operating, and actually, it was a challenge from the outset. What do Trail Group do? Who are you? What's this business all about? But creating that brand has been quite an exciting challenge too.
Yeah, and again, it's really, really important, isn't it? Because you can offer great sort of service, great products, etc. But yeah, you've got to have that brand to support it. What do you stand for? What are the values, and how's that translated into that brand? Because the brand isn't just a name and a logo. The brand is more than that,
Absolutely
isn't
not.
it?
No,
Stand
no.
for. So, yeah, okay. And if you could wave a magic wand and solve one challenge right now, what would that be?
Um, I think well, that's a very good question. Wave the magic wand and solve a really big problem. The biggest challenge we have, I think, is in this climate today, is making sure that we're not being too eager to sustain our growth. If
Okay.
it means to us that we've got to just conserve ourselves and be a little bit careful, it's making sure that we don't take on unnecessary risks. So waving the magic wand, I don't think there is an answer to that direct question. I'd love to say wave a magic wand, let's change the environment, let's offer cheaper products to everybody, but we have to remain a profitable organization. I think we have to take account of the current climate, economic climate. We need to make sure that we continue to keep the clients central to our focus, keep the products that we offer, the various products that we offer, uh, central to the business, that we're consistent. And for me, yeah, the magic wand answer, it doesn't exist. We keep our people motivated, we keep them empowered, keep the clients central to the business, and that's really the success of where we're heading.
I think that, in a way, you've answered that question, which is the challenge is balancing all those sort of things, balancing
It is.
continued profitability with keeping your team motivated, with giving a great service in the current economical environment. That's probably one of the challenges at the moment is to keep all that balanced,
It is.
and it's not easy to do. So what is what is the role of the managing director? What are the biggest priorities of a managing director, John?
I think the biggest priorities for a managing director for a business like us is to maintain the relationships externally, uh, build relationships internally with your senior management team, be upstanding, show leadership, show professionalism. The relationships externally with our clients are key, as I mentioned. Keeping focus for those key clients. We often found ourselves in a situation where our clients knew us as a fire stopping company or knew us as a fire protection company, but they didn't actually know. Actually, we've got an electrical division. We've got a construction division. We've got a refurbishment division. We can offer our clients a multifaceted service, the one-stop shop. For me, it's marketing ourselves, getting support from a marketing team to market our product, to market the brand, to market what Trail Group offer. So for me, it was bringing all that combination of our clients, our marketing expertise, our people, pulling them all together to centralize and deliver and make people aware of what it is we do, market the brand.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. And personally for you, John, coming from that that tier one background to where you are now. How was that transition for you from moving into that role of a managing director?
Again, that probably there's a time when I was working for a tier one contractor, and much of what I did didn't see the bigger business situation, and it was an experience I probably had about 10 years ago in my career when I did have a change in my career path. I worked for a smaller organization, and you kind of have an input in every part of the business.
Yeah,
And I saw how the mechanics of our business works. When I was at tier one, it was kind of maybe project based. I mean, you're talking multi-billion pound projects to some extent. I was based on a 300 million pound project, for example. That's a business in itself. But when you're actually see every part of the business from finance to procurement to commercial to operational to health and safety, those are the bits that really excite me, and that for me was why I wanted to step into that MD, and there was the biggest difference having an input across the whole business as opposed to maybe just a part of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think, like, and that's a great description. That, yeah, often when we come from that background of big organisations, we don't necessarily sort of see that.
You definitely don't, and that's the one really exciting thing for me in this position is having an input and an influence on every part of the business.
Right. And look, John, there's one question that I always like to ask everyone that's kind enough to join me on this interview, and that's this. It's what would be the best advice that you would give to an 18-year-old you? So if you could go back and speak to an 18-year-old you, what would you say?
I'd say people don't underestimate the importance of bringing the right people into any business at the right time.
Yeah,
I would say keep the customer central to everything you do. I would say again, looking after your clients is key. Um, and empowering your staff, empowering people, listening, observing, taking note of senior leaders. When I was young, I wanted to learn. I needed a mentor in my life to show me what the direction of travel was going to be and what it looked like. And I think, for every 18-year-old coming into a business, it's about learning and being guided. Taking on board what people are educating you about, business. And for me, the biggest key was I hated it with someone sitting over your shoulder telling you what to do every day. But actually, do you know what? You really learn a lot from that. You really do. And I think, we've got some young people here in this business right now. They're very keen, they're enthusiastic, and I think it's fantastic to see. They're keen to learn. And I think, that for me is the one thing. Be open-minded, take on board, things you're being told, and think about as a business what you need to look after, which is your people, your customers, and empowerment.
I like that. What springs to mind there when you were sort of saying that is yeah, just be a sponge. Just like, just absorb everything that you
Everything, yeah,
can.
everything.
There's so much out there to learn, and we never stop learning. You
No,
said, you actually referred to it earlier, John. About things that you keep learning and that sort of thing, and it's the same with me as well. It's
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
learn, but yeah, when we're younger, it's yeah, we can just learn so much to be that sponge.
yeah. You're right. I mean, and even if I think it's fair to say, many youngsters they're not sure what they want to do.
Yeah,
But if you're prepared to learn and listen and take on board something that you might not want to do in the future, at least you've shown respect as well.
yeah,
I think that's a key thing. Be
yeah,
respectful.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
respect. Yeah, I agree
yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, look, John, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about your business, but also your journey as well. So, thank you very much for sharing that.
No problem at all, Simon. Thank you.